and it's not who you are, what you do. It's between you and Christ. It's between you and Christ. So,
and I think that's why, that's why I've stuck here. That's why I haven't gone anywhere else, because I'm scared of going anywhere else, because I know lots of other churches are very much like that.
Yeah.
They're very much, nope, you don't fit the mold, don't come back.
Well, that can be very true, and unfortunately some people, by trying to fit the mold, change themselves, and it stifles them, where I feel here at New Life you're allowed to express who you are. And the preaching is all about loving. It's all about that Christ has done it all. I can't do anything. And I quite often pray to God, there's nothing about me at all that would get me to heaven, because I'm far from perfect. I've got that many failings. But it's, you just got to trust in Christ and his love. I mean, he died for us, so what more do we want? There's nothing I can add to it. I'm not worthy in any way, shape, size or form, and I have failed a lot in my life in different aspects and in different things, and you just pick yourself up and try again.
Sorry, God. I'll try better next time. So what is I'm going to ask you the normal questions that I ask everyone else, but before I do that, I want to say this. Since the time we've been at New Life, I've seen you change so much. It's not even funny. Guys, I wish I recorded it from the time I've been at New Life to now. But can you explain to the people watching what areas you serve in at church?
In church, I do welcoming, or hosting, as they now call it. I do the Bible reading from the front of the church. I'm a kids' church helper. Not that I'm much good. I used to do the Sunday school, but it's all too technical for me now, so I've reduced myself to a helper. I did volunteer originally to do the prayer on the prayer roster, but I'm too emotional a person, and I don't think people need me to watch me, because that's taking away from God, and I don't want to do anything that takes away from God. So I took myself off that roster. But prayer, I come to the prayer meetings. I have struggled with the prayer meetings. I'm quite hard of hearing. I wear hearing aids, and I have struggled, but I have always felt that I'm still going, because that's where God wants me to be. And it just being there. So,
What about pastoral carers?
Oh yeah, I forgot. And again, I'm not the best. I'm not the best in that. I've got to be very ill. I've spent a lot of time in prayer over that, because as Mel knows, over the last few years I've had quite a few bouts of surgery that has made it difficult for me to properly do pastoral caring, except for prayer and saying hello and just inquiring. But 24 is going to be my year.
Winning, because you just joined a new one as well, women's ministry, and I forgot.
I'm not used to saying that yet.
But I'm excited, honestly, and lots of thought process went into me trying to figure out last year who to ask to join the team, and then it was like backwards and forwards between Stephen and then Glenn's going to me, what about this person? No, you shush. You don't have anything to do with women's ministry. You just stay over there. But I think, honestly, you're going to bring so much to the team. You make those faces, but I know you are. And I think, and it's not even just like a learning curve. So in New Zealand, it's you learn from your elders, right? That's why I like hanging out with people that are older than me, because I'm going to be learning. Whatever it is, I'm going to be learning. But I think it goes both ways. Like, I think Lisa will learn from you, and you'll learn some stuff from us.
I'll learn a lot from you girls,
which is exciting. 2024 is going to be a big year for everyone, I think.
I'm praying so. I'm praying so. because, like you were just saying, we learn from each other, we grow from each other. But the main thing is we've just got to trust God. That's just trust Him. I know going through John's illness, Joshua, I think it's Joshua 1 verse 4. Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? For I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And all. Yeah. That's how John and I got through his illness, and that's how I have got through living without him.
That's my God love.
Yeah.
Do you know that's cool that you actually shared that? Guys, look it up. Just so you understand what she's talking about. Because I think a lot of people think, Christians are just like, oh, God's got it. But it's not all Christians have got it easy. Let's say that.
No. Oh, there's been times in John's and my life, it's been very difficult in relational with different people. And, but yeah, we've just trusted that it'll, that's all you can. That's all you can. You really just got to lay it all out before God, and I can't do anything. You know, here it is, Lord. I can't fix it. It's all in your hands. And until you do that, God's going to sit back and wait for you to surrender. And as soon as you surrender, that's when God gets His chance to work in your life. I think you found that. Once you and
the hard
Shane,
way, but
you too surrendered. I know there was a battle to surrender for you too.
Yeah.
But once you do, then God just comes in and fills your life.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's way worth it. So with all the places that you're serving in, are you an introvert? Like, are you a person that, well, I'm just going to...
I'm in a life group too.
Oh, yeah, interested in a life group. Are you a person that generally would not put their hand up first?
In this Emmaus movement, you have to give a talk. Like every now and again, people are asked to give a talk, and I was asked to give a talk once. And it was, I can't remember the full topic on it, but I remember, and it was back in the days where you did it on a slide thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it came up about evangelism. And I had me with my nose hanging over a wall.
Yeah.
And I said, they can do it.
Yeah.
That was how I was beforehand, is hiding behind the wall and everybody else could do it. And I am slowly getting better at stepping out and doing things.
Do you enjoy serving in the areas that you're serving in?
I can't speak for the women's ministry yet because I'm only just going into it. Love my life group. Love my group. Love my leader. Love the people in it. We have some challenging conversations, but we do social things together as well, not just always the topic of And kids' church, I'm feeling a little bit. I'm not 100% sure how much longer I'll do kids' church as a helper for, because I can't get down on the floor with them. And I'm feeling maybe I'm getting to an age where they need younger people mixing with them rather than this old lady sitting up there. So I don't know how. Serving in the other areas of church, I like the hosting. I'm not always good at it. I quite often don't always recognise the new people that are coming. I usually go up to Glenn Johnson, tap him, say, Glenn, who was that? Then he helps me out. So yeah, but I enjoy that. I enjoy the areas that I serve in. It's what Christ wanted us to do, and I love being able to do it. And I'm not doing it to show that I'm good or that I'm, this wonderful person that does everything. I'm doing it because I just want to show the love of Christ. And they're the I love encouraging people. And that I quite often will go up to the drummers, because I know the drummers get a bit of flack. They're too loud. I love the loud drummers. So I go up and tell them, good job. So yeah,
That's cool though. You're still like an example and an encouragement
yeah,
for other people, because I think lots of people think when they get to a certain age, I'm too old. I can't do anything.
Look, I have before I came here, I was heading in that direction. My son tells me off quite a bit.
Yeah.
So he says, "That's a lot of rot, Mum. Wake up to yourself."
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm finding we're as valuable now as we were when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I know.
Well, I use you as an example, like to the younger ones. I'm like, bro, if she can do it, you can get up and do it. Like, seriously, what are you talking about? And then I get all the eye rolls and everything, and I'm like, I'm still going to say it. If she can do it, you can do it. So move. But that's like an encouragement. Like, it's people need to see that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can serve wherever.
It was like, and I think it was Glenn just recently was said in his sermon, he said, "Seniors, we need you." And I really pray that a lot of seniors heard that and will act upon it. I really do.
Well, I think also it's not even just the seniors. Sometimes, not you, other people in this church, sometimes the young people won't talk to them. And, seniors don't know how to engage that conversation. And so I tell some of the young people that I talk to, I'm like, bro, just go talk to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're too shy to talk to you, or you guys are too loud, so why would they go over there? Yeah, so I think also the emphasis should fall on the younger generations to just go and say hello. Because that's how it started with you and I. Me saying hello all the time.
I'll share with you, I still remember, because I'm a coward. I've got a big yellow streak down the centre of my back. People can't see it, but believe me, it's there. And you used to be, if I'd have to go and pick Beck up something or other, and you and Shane used to be at the front talking to Glenn. This is in the days of your green hair.
Yeah, probably. Just after the wedding.
Blonde. And I was too terrified to come over and say hello.
Yeah.
I was too terrified, but slowly with you, like you say, with you saying hello, and now I feel I love coming up and getting your hugs and kisses and all that sort of thing. It's just that initial barrier, and we're all frightened of it. So, but yeah.
So I think, because I've done it, who else have I done it to? Marty? No, Marty, not Marty. Oh, other Marty Terpstra. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the same thing. She would look and hi Marty, carry on walking, and now it's hello, Melissa. Hello Marty, how are you? Because it's that, but sometimes that barrier becomes like a great wall of China.
Oh, it does. It does.
And it just gets worse and worse for people. So yeah, I encourage lots of young people to be like, if you can talk to everyone else, go over there and say hello to them.
And I tell you now, 90% of the people you go over and talk to are thinking, I'd love to be talking to some of those young ones, but they, whether I don't know what it is why we can't do it, but we don't.
I don't know either. But yeah. But I think, like Vance?
Yeah, I think somewhere in the background we think they really wouldn't be interested in me coming over and talking to them.
I think that too.
Yeah.
But I find you guys are like super sarcastic, got all the jokes in the world. Sometimes I can do without the growlings, but that's fine. That comes with the territory. But yeah, but now, because that's how Shane and I both are, the kids our kids are starting to do it too, which is cool. Because we went, where were we? Ty and I were at West Point, and we saw Vance, and I saw her eyes going like this because he was walking behind me, and I'm like, who are you looking at? And he's looking at her going like this too, and then says, don't you go to my church? Yes, Vance, hello, we do. And so it's just those little chit chats that...
Yes. And then when he sees you here, he's going to be more, Yeah.
Which is needed, I think.
We do. We need to let down a lot of barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got that wall up, you know, that protection.
Got any advice on how some youngins might be able to break that wall?
How, who?
Some young people.
How could you break the wall? No, not really. No, I think it's if young ones could join maybe some life groups that have got older people in it,
Yeah.
that would be a huge step forward. Huge step forward. Because like there's no young ones in our life group. I think a couple were supposed to join this last Sunday and they didn't. But most of the young ones go to a life group that's got all their age group in it, and I think that's a mistake. I think life groups should have a mix of ages in it. Like I'm the oldest one in our life group, and then it'd be a good 10, 15 years below me. But yeah, if the youth stay in the one youth then they're never getting to know and meet anybody else. Whereas if they spread out a little bit, then a lot more people will get to know them and open up that way.
I agree. I'd hate to be in a life group that's all in similar ages as me, because then you find that you're just talking about the same thing.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to talk about this.
No. and it's the same mental level, can I say that? And it's the same faith maturity level. Whereas when you've got somebody that's been older, they've gone through an awful lot more life experiences, and and felt the presence of Christ with them. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that too. If it wasn't for all of you older women that have come into my life, I feel like I wouldn't be at the stage that I'm at.
Wow.
Because lots of the time I'm like walking around like, what is a Christian woman even doing this stage, bro? Like, what is this situation? And then now if I'm trying to talk to my dad, he's like, have you talked to blah, blah, blah? Go and ask blah, blah, blah. Go and ask this person. I know you've got their number. And I'm like, but I don't want to get in trouble while I talk to them. It's like, oh, well, you want to know what happened, so then just ask. Oh, okay.
Have you ever got into trouble?
Yes.
Oh.
Lots.
Really?
Lots.
I was waiting for a no.
It's more with like the frowny eyebrows come into play, and then they go, oh, Mel. And I'm like, oh, dang it. I knew that was coming. Okay. Yes. Go. But not, I honestly think.
In love?
Yeah, definitely in love. If they hadn't, it would have, whatever they said would have just gone through one ear and out the other, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
that is a key word there.
Yeah, love. Yeah. And lots of them, like, they say it to me.
Yeah.
I'm only doing it because I love you. Oh, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how much I love you after you finish saying what you're saying first. Do you do one-to-one?
I was doing it last year with Michelle. I was doing it, but then I had surgeries and stuff like that, and I'm actually going to see Steve in the next couple of weeks and organise to restart doing one-on-one. But I want to try and do it during the day, whereas with Michelle I had to do it at night time. And I didn't like the idea that she was driving home or walking in the streets on her own at night. Yeah. I was uncomfortable with that, so I was hoping I might be able to tie up doing it one-on-one during the day.
Did you do one-to-one prior to that? Like,
was never heard of.
Oh, what?
No. In my early days of my Christian life, one-to-one, no, you just didn't do it. That's only something that's been happening.
What about life groups?
Yes, we did life groups. John and I actually held a life group in our home for quite a few years.
Oh yeah.
We did the life group, but the one-on-one, no.
Yeah, no, that I was just trying to comprehend just then. That's weird. Well, it's not weird. It's just different, I suppose.
Yeah. So hopefully this year I can get back into one-on-one, and I can the little bit that I've done of it, there is definitely an advantage to it. And you also get to know somebody else that maybe you wouldn't be always mixing with.
Yeah.
So
I'm a huge advocate for one-to-ones. Like, it just, the growth that you get to see and experience in it, getting to know someone that you wouldn't generally walk up to, but also just the learning. Like, it's crazy the amount of stuff that you learn in a one-to-one, and it's not even always about the Bible, it's just about everything. I love it. So I think I'm going to get some advice off you. Because I want to be married for 50 years as well, not just 5. So what advice would you have for women who are newly married or engaged to be married, walking the Christian journey as well?
compromise is, to me, is a big thing. Never ridicule your husband. He may have failings and everything, but then so do I. So do I. Try never to have a fight and let it go on for weeks on end. If you're going to have a fight that day, you make your peace that night. You make your peace. And it might be that, I'm sorry, and then you move over. That's fine. Right? But don't carry it on. It doesn't achieve anything. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is compromise. What you want doesn't always work in a marriage. What he wants doesn't always work in a marriage. And talk it over. Talk to you. You sit down and you talk to each other about it. And John and I would squabble. Don't get me wrong, we squabbled, you know. Glenn used to say, we'd sit down and say, well, you two, we didn't come here to hear you two argue, because we'd be squabbling about something. The fight, that was something we never carried on, and you settle it. And if it means you're not going to get your way fully, and he's not going to get his, that's fine. That's fine. You find that middle ground and you work from there. And and above all, Christ in the centre of your lives. Take them for granted.
That's super helpful. I can't remember what funeral we were at, but you gave us similar advice after, like, because I think it might have been, oh no, I can't remember. I know it was a funeral though, and you and I sat together and I was talking to you about Shane and you said similar thing. And I remember walking out going, oh, fine. And then I told him, but I was rolling my eyes the whole time. And then he was like, oh, you got in trouble. And I was like, no, I didn't. It wasn't a growling, it was advice, all right? But it's always rung in my head, that advice, like to not carry it on.
Not carry it on. And
take
it's
some
hard.
time
I'm
and
not
get
saying
away.
it's easy. I'm not, and I can't say I was perfect at it. Don't get me wrong. There's nights where I make sure he went to bed first, so I didn't have to. You know, so I'm not perfect by a long shot, but the bulk of what you have. I mean, I have talked to girls over the years, and they say, "Oh, we haven't talked for a week," and I think, how can you live like that?
Yeah.
And they weren't Christians, admittedly, but yeah, and I think that's not good for a marriage. It's not good for a marriage. You've got to communicate with one, and communication is very, very key to communicate.
Got any good communication advice?
If your husband says it one way, just believe it could be the other. No, communication, just be honest.
Yeah.
Honesty, and honesty hurts.
Yeah.
And honesty is going to cost you. And I still, one of my son, not Glenn, he dabbled into drugs, and of course, mother here has got to fix it all, hasn't she? Mother here's got to have every minister she can lay her hands on to go and visit him. Mother here has got to see, until on the phone one day, son, brings mother up and says, Mum, you ever do that to me again and I'll never speak to you again. Right? And I realised that I had overstepped the mark of trying to fix my son. And that was when I said, I stand back.
Yeah.
It's all yours, God. I may never see a result, but I know you've got him, because he had done his profession of faith and he was wandering. I know you've got him and I have got to trust you. And I just handed it over to God. I prayed that prayer for 10 years.
10 years. What?
He doesn't smoke anymore.
That's good.
Isn't it? So,
That's very good.
you might never see. And I learnt that prayer. I learnt that prayer reading a book of this wonderful Christian lady. I can't even remember her name now. It was so long ago. And she had a son that, and I can't remember what his was, whether it was just that he was not a Christian or what. And she prayed the son, you promised that you would never let him go, and I am trusting in that promise. And that's the promise I clung to with my son.
That's cool.
And once I stepped out of the picture, God then brought people in to help him.
That's way cool.
Yeah, we've got to step out of the picture sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's the same in our marriages. If things, just step back and think it's not about me. There's two people in this marriage. It's not just me.
Yeah, I'm currently going through that at the moment. But not like, it's more, I can't do any more. God, like, send some more people in to help, because I'm like done. I can't, there's nothing more that I can do. There's nothing more that we can talk about. There's nothing more that us in our own relationship is going to make anything better. It's just going to keep making it worse. So instead of us arguing.
Are you arguing? Can I ask if you're arguing over children or?
No. But I'll tell you after I finish the video what we're arguing about.
Okay.
Yeah, but I get that. Like stepping back and just being like, okay, God, you go do whatever you need to do.
I think sometimes, and I've read different things over the years, where sometimes because of us trying to control everything, we're actually putting stumbling blocks in God's way to fixing it. And God doesn't need us to fix things. He doesn't. All he wants from us is our faith and in him, our trust in him, our belief in him, and what, just how much he loves us in the fact that he gave his only son for us. You know, that's all. He doesn't need a thing from us.
Yeah.
Just all he wants us to do is to love him, and he'll care for us.
I agree. Right, better wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview. So, like Shane and I tell everyone that there'll be another round where we'll come back around and ask people specific questions.
Okay.
We just have to figure out what categories everyone's going into and what subjects we're going to talk about. But now we have so many people to do that with, so it's going to take a little bit.
That's okay. No worries.
But if you guys have any questions for Bryony, please pop them into the comment section. And when she comes back on, she'll be answering those questions.
Oh, okay.